Forget all the fancy indicators. This dead simple strategy I'm about to show you pulls in $500 a day for me within 10 minutes. I'm going to show you the last 3 trades I took, one of them being only 2 minutes long that easily pulled in $400. Let's get started. Today, I'm going to cover these 3 trades I took within, last 3 or 4 days here. I don't trade on the weekends, so minus that part. But as you can see here, these are 3 trades. They all took, one was 2 minutes, one was 6 minutes, one was 10 minutes long. And these are all during New York's market open. I'm going to go over the exact scalping strategy I use here every morning when I day trade. And it allows me to get in and out of positions pretty quickly and risking just a little bit amount of money here. So we're going to go over each one of these trades today. I'm going to show you exactly step by step where you set your stop loss, where your entry's at, how you enter, and what you're looking for so you don't make mistakes if you were to hit a reversal on a trend. Let's get started. So we are going to go ahead and start with my first morning trade that I actually took today here. This video is coming out tomorrow, I believe, but you can see my morning trade here that I took. And the first step, so step number 1 here, we are going to move to the daily time frame with whatever coin you want to trade. I do highly recommend picking one coin to start out with. So I particularly stick with Solana. Solana's pretty big right now, so that is the coin I stick with. But go ahead, step number 1, mark the previous day high and low of your candle. And we mark this area because price tends to gravitate during the day back and forth between this area. So you'll see this purple candle right here. That is our previous day high and low candle we are actually looking at. As you'll see, this morning it came up, wicked through that previous day high, and now it's coming back to that previous day low. I haven't looked at the charts since this morning, but pretty interesting to see that. Next step, we are going to go ahead and move to the hourly time frame. And what we're looking for on the hourly time frame here is we're looking to see if we have a divergence or not. So if we see a divergence, so I was trading, what was this? I was trading around this time here, which we didn't really have a big divergence like we saw here or anything. And our trend was overall upwards. So just remembering this hasn't happened yet. We're probably around somewhere around this time. But our overall trend is upwards with no divergence on the hourly. So if we have an upward trend and no divergence on the RSI, we could probably assume we are going to go with the trend now and shoot for a long position here. Now, you do need to make sure, of course, if there's not any significant news events about to happen, like Powell speaking, PMI, CPI, inflation, job numbers, interest rates, anything like that, because that'll tip the markets whichever way it wants to go. I don't really trade news events, but make sure if you don't see a divergence on the hourly, we are just going to go with the trend here. So now we can drop to the 5-minute and 1-minute range, and this is going to be our scalp. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit here so now we're at 8 a.m. Central, and like I said, usually I'm trading around 8:30 a.m. Central. Sometimes I get in earlier around 8 a.m. Central, but those are the time frames you usually want to be looking at when you're scalping, especially market opens. So I trade the New York Open and the Asia Open here. So the next step on the 5-minute time frame here, we are actually looking to draw our fib. And since we're taking a long position here, you're just going to grab your fib retracement and draw this from top to bottom here. So as you can see, yes, I understand it's backwards way of drawing the fib, but that is what I do. And we are actually looking, so the time currently is 8:20 a.m. We are looking for a bullish fair value gap and or to enter around the 0.618 or 0.5 area. As you'll see, we have this nice fair value gap right here on the 5-minute, sticking with that. But we can also look at this 0.618 area as an entry point because it's usually typically a pretty good entry point. So if you were to put a long position here, since we determined on the hourly that there is no divergence, we have also made higher high here, right? This is a higher high from here. And our previous day high, here is where we are closest to. Here's our previous day high, that white line we marked out at the beginning of step 1. We can't assume that it's probably trying to reach for that previous day high again. So our take profit levels are at this 1.272 area or 1.618 area. And what I was particularly looking at this morning was this 1.618 area because it matched up pretty well with the previous day high. Usually what I see is the previous day high, it'll come up and try to break through this even, maybe even up to here, and then have some resistance on the way downward to the previous day low during that daily time period. So here's our previous day high. We're going to aim for a long to that 1.618. And where does our stop loss go? Our stop loss simply goes just below our fair value gap candle right here. So here's our fair value gap candle. And we can just put it below. You'll see we have the 0.5 fib line here. I probably just put it below that fib line just in case, since it matches up pretty well with this fair value gap candle. And we are looking at a 6.4 risk reward ratio, which is fantastic. So we will go ahead and I move to the minute now just so we can see this in real time and a little bit quicker for the scalp trade. But if you had a $1,000 account here, let's say we're risking 10% of our account or $800, and we have a 6.36 risk reward ratio, aiming for this 1.618 area because it matches up with our previous day high here. If you wanted to keep it safe and just aim for that 1.272, you can certainly do that too. But if you were risking $100 here, aiming for the 1.272, you can expect to win $421 or that 1.618 at $642 for risking $100, which is fantastic. And this is because our stop loss is so tight here and it lines up perfectly with the 0.5 and that fair value gap candle we saw on that 5-minute. That's where you would normally want to put your stop loss, just below a fair value gap candle. I like to match it up with a fib line usually, like I said. So we will go ahead and let this play out here, see what happens. So wicked right through that 0.618 area with this bullish fair value gap. I'll move to the 5-minute time frame so you can see how well it holds this fair value gap that we are currently in. It's like bouncing back and forth in between it, but just wait as it goes up. And there we wicked right through that 1.618 twice. So we actually had some resistance there twice. So it kept moving a little bit further up before tanking back downward past our 0.618 level. However, we were in and out of this trade within what? We entered around 840 and we exited at 850. So a 10-minute trade there, risking $100, you would make $642 based on this risk reward ratio. If you were trying to stay a little bit safer and just kind of wanted to get in and out of your trade, you can certainly aim for that 1.272 area, meaning you'll be risking $100 and winning $419 here. So not a bad trade setup all around. Let's move to the next trade, which is actually a short I took. I believe it was on Friday morning here. All right, so this trade took place on 5/9 at 9:19 a.m. Central, my time. So a little bit after market open here, which is fine. But as you can see on the 5-minute time frame, we are in an overall giant uptrend all the way from back on the 7th on Wednesday here. And you're like, why would you take a short there? So we are going to go ahead. We're going to do this step by step once again. Just stick with your strategy and do it step by step as I have laid out here. So we're going to move to the daily time frame first, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to mark the previous day high and low candle here, which is on Thursday right here, because this was our Friday morning trade. And we will mark this previous day high and previous day low in whatever colors you want to mark it in, and mark that candle out. Next, we are actually going to move to the hourly time frame as step number 2. And what are we looking for in the hourly time frame? We are looking to see if there is a divergence because we are scalping on the 5-minute and 1-minute time frame. So we'll go ahead and see if we have a divergence, which we do. Okay, so on the RSI here, we do have a divergence. So from here all the way up to here, these are different lines. This one's going down, this one's going up, indicating a divergence. So we could expect a reversal here. And what else I was looking at here is our previous day high level. So our previous day high level right here is this white line. Usually it likes to come back down to that white line, okay? So I don't believe this trade came all the way back down to the previous day high, but it did fill through this fair value gap. And this was on the hour time frame. So when you are moving to the 5-minute and 1-minute time frame, you're able to grab these quick scalps, even though it's not generally in the direction of the trend. But we did see this divergence on the hourly, indicating we should be looking for not a long here, but a potential short against the direction of the trend. So now let's go ahead. We're going to move to the 5-minute. And we're going to actually see if we have a bullish fair value gap here. And I entered this trade around 9:19 a.m. So I think I was a little bit late on this trade. But because we saw the hourly divergence right now, it says 8:30 a.m., which is when I typically like to trade. So you can just move your fib, since we're looking for a short here instead and not a long. Take your fib from the bottom area to the top. And we are simply, again, looking for that 0.618 or 0.5 level. I'm usually just getting in around the 0.618 level. And we are looking for either a 1.272 or 1.618. And next, we are going to mark out our stop loss. Our stop loss is going to go above the fair value gap candle. Our bearish fair value gap that's showing up on LuxAlgo's indicator is showing up here. So I can probably look to aim for maybe around the 0.5 area with my stop loss just above this fair value gap candle here. And we will aim to take profit at this 1.272 area. So you'll see my stop loss is right here. If you are feeling uncertain about that, you can certainly extend your stop loss past this fib line even. However, you're going to lose out on some profits. So sometimes I like to keep it just around there for a 1-to-4 risk reward ratio, or a close 1-to-5 here. Meaning if you're risking $100, you can gain $500 just by hitting that 1.272 area. If you wanted to aim for that previous day high or 1.618 area, you can certainly do that as well. Sometimes I do like a trailing stop loss with the fair value gaps. So if it comes down here and then starts to pop back up, you can lose profits. But if it comes down all the way to 1.618, it's usually pretty solid as well. So we're going to go ahead and move to the minute and see what happens with this trade here. Once again, our stop loss is nice and tight with these fair value gaps here. I'll probably move it just above here for that 1-to-4 risk reward ratio, entering at the 0.5, which matched up pretty well. Not perfect. Once again, nothing in trading is perfect, but matching pretty well with this fair value gap up here showing on LuxAlgo's indicator. If you wanted to aim for 0.382, you certainly could. I hate missing out on trades more than losing, so that's just me, but usually I'm around the 0.618 or 0.5 area, and we will go ahead and see what happens. So consolidating, coming back up, almost hit our 0.382 area. Missed by like a hair there, so that would have been a sweet entry, but we did get in around the 0.5, so we are a-okay. And we are just tanking back downward. So all the way down to 1.272 for our take profit level. Now here, this is exactly what you want to be careful of this 1.272 area. We did get a change of character on the 1 minute here. So if you hadn't already gotten out, if you were aiming for that 1.618, you definitely want to be getting out now, especially after seeing all these bullish fair value gaps starting to line up. That means it's probably going back upward here because we are making a change of character even now. I guess we can wait and see though. All the way back down again. And shoots all the way back up. So we saw that hourly divergence, which is why we took a short. However, why you would want to be aiming for that 1.272 area for your take profit, as you can see it's starting to climb back upward, is overall, in the long-term scheme here, we are in an overall uptrend. So how much momentum it can get to go down to this level, it's going to have a lot of resistance when it's trying to do that. So that's why if you are going against the trend, especially when you're taking a short at this level, usually it's better to aim just for that 1.272 area. Now, like the last trade, when we were going with the trend, we were able to maximize our profits a little bit further by aiming for that 1.618 area because we were already in a solid uptrend and we were taking a long again. So next we are going to look at the third and last trade here, which I took on 5/8 at 9:30 a.m. to 9:32 a.m. Super short trade. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Trying to see if I remember it. All right, so here we are on 5/8 around 9:30 a.m. Central. Once again, just go back to step one. We're going to move to the daily time frame, and we are going to mark out our previous day high and low candle, which is a super tiny guy right here. Clearly, we have some bullish momentum with this huge candle, and it is breaking towards the upside. So here's our previous day high and low candle. Step two, move to the hourly. We're going to check and see if we have any divergences on the hourly. So we are completely overbought on the hourly, right? With this green highlight on the RSI. However, I do not see a divergence here. So this is all looking to be correct, even though we are overbought. This is trending up. This is trending up. So we are still in a good spot here with no divergence on the hourly. So this means we can probably, once again, go with the trend and look for longs in this case, since we don't see a divergence on the hourly. Next, we're going to move to the 5-minute time frame. And we are going to actually take our fib. We're going to look for a bullish fair value gap here. We'll see. Usually I like my range to be not that high. 1 till 2.5%, so I'm in and out of trades pretty quickly. So now we do have a bullish fair value gap that has taken place. However, I believe I saw this bullish candle here, and I just entered around this 0.786 because I saw it was flying up. So you'll see this nice bullish candle here. There's no wicks on it, no nothing. I was like, this is going to move like crazy. I believe I did mark it into this trade. So if you were aiming for that 0.618 and this bullish fair value gap popped up, you might have missed it. You can always mark it in though. So I believe I got in somewhere around this point. Once again, I was aiming for the 1.618 area just because we were in an overall very strong uptrend since all the way back here. So I was aiming a little bit higher up because we are going with the trend here. We are taking a long position. There's no hourly divergence. And we can safely set our stop loss just below, probably around this area here, this bullish fair value gap candle. I might even set it below this kind of trend point here just in case. Our risk reward ratio was brought down because I didn't get in quick enough, but still overall we're almost at a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, meaning you can basically double your money. You put in $100 here and you'll get $150 out of this trade, aiming for that 1.618 area. If you lose, you'll lose your $100 trade. So you'll see there's a quantity here as well. So we have 104 quantity. That's based off these numbers here, so you can adjust it by money as well. If we wanted to only risk $50 on this trade, you'll see our quantity adjust to put into MEXC here at 52. So let's go ahead, play it forward. I did mark it into this trade because I remember this did not come back down at all. It just shot up. So here we go. So huge bullish momentum came all the way up to our 1.272. We'll drop to the minute here, see how it looks. So here's our minute area. I'll remove this. Watch the bullish momentum and fair value gaps. So there is our 1.618. We'll see it almost hits our 2 level as well. I'm trying to see. I'm going to move to the left and see if there's any bearish fair value gaps. A lot of times, ooh, that's all the way back. A lot of times these take profit levels will also match with a previous bearish fair value gap if we're going with a long here. So once again, it's pretty far back, so going to be hard to tell, but we'll just go ahead and play it, see if it almost hits our 2 level. Once again, we're going in the direction of the trend, so you can probably move your take profit levels up a little bit more if you're willing to take that risk. So there's our 2.272 level. So had we stayed in this trade, even around marketing in at the 0.786 level, and we're going with the trend in this huge bullish momentum here, this would be where's our 5-minute stop loss that we saw originally? Our 5-minute bullish fair value gap was right here at this candle. Their stop loss there. So that is your 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, meaning risking $100. If you're aiming all the way up here, you can gain $332. Anyways, that is the step-by-step process for you guys that has been working really well during these market conditions for me, at least. I post all my trade ideas here morning and night when I'm trading. I also do live trading sessions when I am trading this strategy if you guys want to hop in and try it out. I also do have the course finally uploaded in Insider Circle here for everyone. So I have kind of the fundamentals of trading crypto, trading psychology, setting up your account, leverage trading positions, why it's not as scary as people make it seem out to be. TradingView, I go over a bunch of technical analysis that works basically in any market. We have price action concepts, trend lines, Fibonacci, fair value gaps, Chach and BOS. And this is basically everything you need to know to become a professional trader. These are the best concepts. I've tried a lot of different indicators, a lot of different concepts over the years, and these I feel are the best to know and what to look for when you're reading the charts. And then, of course, we have our 4 main strategies for perpetual futures, for meme coins, and then long-term technical analysis for building your overall portfolio, as well as long-term trade ideas in our Discord here for altcoin season coming up, as we know, daily analysis, and really anything else you guys want to do or go over. I am here to help answer your questions. But all my trade ideas are posted, and I live trade every day, morning and night here, unless I have family stuff going on, of course. I do let people know. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do have questions or comments, please comment down below and I will be sure to answer them. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks.